Good morning, Vietnam. It is hammering it down with rain again. And let's scrape this passage. I have done it. The cows have just been let back in to get their breakfast. KP calf. What pen are you from, pal? Betty! No! Another heifer calf landed there. Simmental looks at belter. Yard one bound. Let's go. Foot to the floor. Come on! Wah! Fat spreader here. So these are new veins on the discs here. Kev's just changed them this morning. So they're nice and smooth, brand spanker. Fingers crossed that solves our problems we've been having. Had a mechanic out yesterday having a look over the machine, and the only thing he could find was kind of a little bit of ridging forming in the veins. Changed them over. 450 quid for a set of veins for that. These are the old ones that Kev took off. All new washers, rubber grommets, bolts. They've all been replaced. And you can see, especially on the two long veins, just in there. I don't know if you can make it out. There you go. You can see the rippling there? There's quite a bit of rippling all the way along that. So imagine this is on a disc and it's spinning like that. The fertiliser gets dropped in about here, and then this is rotating at a fair speed, 720 revolutions per minute. So the central fuel forces the urea or whatever product it is, fertiliser, away up that vein and goes flying off. Because of these wee ripples, which you can just make out, when it's coming along here, it'll bounce up a bit, and maybe bounce up again, and that bounce and that chatter just takes the speed out of it, and it's not throwing it as far as we need it to. So I think that's been our problem, and I'm not gonna lie, Kev and I missed that rippling. I actually thought any rippling would come on this face of the vein, but it doesn't. It comes on the bottom face. I thought it'd be spinning that fast, the fertiliser would be up against that face. Yeah, it's right obvious there. So fingers crossed, that solves our problem. Kev's just putting wood chip in the boiler, so it's just the Land Rover out of the way. The fender needs a wash, needs a service, so we'll get it off the trailer now. Not got much of a runway to land onto. I think I'll stop before the trailers. Hope so. Bit of a bumpy landing, but we stopped before the trailers, that's all that matters. This was last used in November/December when the fields were gutters. They're still gutters, but it just got dumped in the shed and that was that. So it's needing a right good wash, and then we'll get it in the workshop and give it a once over, and then that'll be ready for when the cows head out. Also, we have some new cattle. 3 belted Galloways, heifers. They're about 11 months old. Nice looking beasts. My mum bought them for my dad's birthday. Lucky him. What bull are we going to put them to? Obviously, they're not needing a bull till a year's time, but we're going to need to get a belted Galloway bull. Flipping heck. This is an oven for the farm shop. There's the front door. There's another oven going on top. And there's this wee stand that mounts on top. I just needed to drill a few holes. So that I could get these screws in to hold the mount there. And then that oven bolts onto this mount on top of this oven. So you've got 2 ovens stacked on top of each other. I suspect this is the outlet for air. I'll need 2 screw holes there as well. I'll check with my brother first before I start screwing into that. Kev's given that a blast. He's just washed the forklift. We've just got a couple more bits to finish on the forklift and it's done. We can go back along the road and swap. The door holder there needs to go back on. I need to try it, but that might need either replaced or a new one made because it's kind of worn down a bit. and the cab needs a hoover out and a wee wash. To be honest, this is as much use as a chocolate teapot. I'm just going to get the air line, blow it out. I need goggles. That's better. Kev's just checking the hub oil level on this forklift. I am staying in the cab because the handbrake is currently not working too well. Hub number 1, he looks like he's closing it up again. There's oil in the first one, good start. Hub number 2. To check hub oil, you set the opening to halfway. You turn until the stop or the bung is halfway up from the ground or halfway down from the top. Dipstick to check. Yep, there's oil. Close it up. Don't ask any questions. Oil in that one. Just trying to get in at this union joint. It's a weird, nasty one to get at. Grease nipple. Keep going forward. Oh, and now if you turn that way, keep going, keep going. Oh. Those grease nipples in the union joints are tricky. This door holder thingamabobber, it's all back together now. It just needs spot welded in 3 positions, then bolted back on. Let's give it a blast. While I've got the welder out, just going to weld this wee bracket back on. It was sheared, it holds the ram guard there. Or the ram stop. It is meant to be screwed in, but a few tacks will do no harm. That'll do it. Right, these guards have to go on the base here. There's 2, at least 2 to go on. And don't look there. Does the strap come out and then go on below? Right, after spending however long I did on that latch to try and make the door work properly on this forklift, couldn't get it to work. It's a stupid wee thing, prone to not working. So we've made a new design, nothing fancy, but it works. Basically, that wee arm just slots in like that. Solid. Then you just undo that wee arm, shut it. It doesn't interfere, but it does also just fold out the way. But it shouldn't interfere with the tyre at all, or the guard. Like that. Like that. Much better, much less prone to falling to pieces. There's 1 bolt, 1 bit of steel, 1 wee tab. Done. And this forklift is done in the workshop for now. Everything's had a look through. Levels are good, tyres are good, hubs are good, axles are good, cab's good, door fully works now. Last thing left to do is the windows all need a clean. It's looking a wee bit rough, this forklift, but it does what it needs to do. It's a good stock forklift, and what it is now, that's its main job. It's actually doing a lot more hours now than it ever used to. It used to sit along at yard 2 and it would load a lorry of straw every so often, it would muck out some horses every so often, but other than that, didn't really do much. But now it is doing an hour or two's work every morning. That machine's in next for a look over. Now the forklift's done, and then that's us done with looking at machines. Kev went through all the tractors a few weeks ago. The other forklift, just done that forklift. quad bike, and then throughout the winter, drills, discs, scrubber, all the bits and bobs there were looked at. All being well, as soon as we enter a field, once it dries up, we should just keep going. There should not be anything break down. Something will break down, it always does, but we've given it the best chance not to, so that we don't waste any time once we do get going. When it does turn the weather, it's going to be hell for leather to get stuff done. Somewhere to keep it. It's a good place to keep it, isn't it? We need to put the trailer on.
Yeah.
Why do I need to put the trailer on?
To put the quad bike on.
Yeah, because the quad bike needs to go back to Hogburn.
Why?
Why do you think? Look at it.
Because it needs washed.
It needs washed and it needs a service.
What is a service?
Service is when you look over all the parts on the machine, and any parts that need fixed, we fix them. Any parts that need grease, we make sure they're greased. If it needs oils changed, we change the oil. If we need any filters changed, we change the filter. And all the machines get serviced.
Emily,
so we can't do an
we've
MOT.
got 2 feeders now, because we've got more calves.
Yeah, so how many? Emily, you'll do the maths, okay? If we're going to have 80 calves, and each creek feeder can take 20 calves, how many creek feeders do we need?
4.
Yep, bang on. So how many have we got now?
We've got 1, 2, and then 1 go burn.
Yeah, so how many is that?
3.
So we need to get another, do we?
Yeah, 1 more.
Right, this is how you put a trailer on. You're watching. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Bang. You hit the trailer and then you go forward by 1 inch. Perfect.
Uncle Crawford, will me and you drive the quad bike on?
No, I'll do that alone. You can watch.
Emily, wires. Wires. I know that. And a knife. Uncle Crawford, why is a knife in here? Why is a knife in here?
What do you think? The cut thing. Silage bales.
Emily, what is your favourite vehicle ever?
What's yours, Freddie?
A Defender, I told you.
Put it in first, Freddie.
Pardon?
Do you know how to do that? Right, so you see these numbers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Emily, Freddie, look at these. These are the gears. So this is called a manual. So a manual has a gear stick like that. Mummy's car is an automatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't have gears like that. One, that's first gear. 2, 3, 4, 5, and R stands for?
Reverse.
Reverse, yeah. Right. So I put the clutch down, now you put it into first. So that's the pattern. So when you start, the gear stick's right in the middle. So where do you think you need to go to get to 1?
That way.
Push it that way, as hard as you can. Now push it up. Up. That's it, now it's in first. And we're off. That's first gear.
What does 2 do?
So 2 is just once you get a wee bit faster, you go into second, then you go third, fourth, fifth. So you'd use 5 when you're on the big fast roads.
Like on the motorway.
For this, you need it when you're going about 20 miles an hour. When I say go, you pull that down to number 2.
Okay.
Go! Pull it right down. That's it, now we're in 2. Back to 1.
1.
Back to 1. Push, push, push. Maybe give it a wiggle. I think that might be 3. You holding it tight, Freddie? So I'll put this one in, then you can push it. Push, push, push. Heave, heave, heave. Push. That's it. I think you could both manage it. I'll take that. Yeah. You give Freddie a help. That's it, it's going. Push, push. Push, 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 push.
Just with my super strength. I'm like, you push me.
Right, maybe it's stuck. Let me see. Right, now try it. That's it, that's it. Right, I'll do the last bit. Watch your fingers. I'll give that a wee kick. I'm still owe you to a biscuit, haven't I? Can we just get more of this? It's about 7:30 now. Clock's changed last night. Ah, beauty. We didn't get more of that. We got some of this. It's April. Ah, love it.